If you run a company or manage a team, hiring qualified people quickly can make or break your business. Imagine a position of need going unfilled for weeks or even months because you just can't seem to find the right candidate. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. This makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, there's no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts. You only pay for results on your job post. Just in the last minute that I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Now that is fast. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. Listeners will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/BWN. Go to Indeed.com/BWN right now to support this podcast. Indeed.com/BWN. Terms and conditions apply.
Mochi Health is here to help you start your weight loss journey with caring, personalized support. Meet one-on-one with board-certified obesity doctors and registered dietitians who truly listen and understand your unique needs. Eligible patients can access affordable GLP-1 medications delivered right to their door each month. No insurance? No problem. Mochi Health accepts FSA and HSA, making care accessible and affordable. And with 24/7 customer service, you'll never feel alone on your path to better health. Get started with Mochi Health today. Take the free quiz at joinmochi.com and use code AUDIO40 at checkout for $40 off your first month of membership. That's joinmochi.com with promo code AUDIO40.
You hit the button.
I thought it would send me to there's a page before the button, but apparently the button was already set up.
There we go.
Are we waiting for Joey?
Oh, Canada. Where is he?
He'll be here. We're early.
He's held up by the podcast patrol.
Do they do daylight saving time the same times we do?
No.
I don't know.
Oh.
Canadian daylight savings time?
I don't know the Canadian savings.
Do they? Or I don't know.
It would make sense for them to.
Oh, they do.
Daylight.
It was March 9th.
Okay.
Okay, so they're on the same calendar as us, copycats.
Yeah, that was when we changed over, yeah.
Okay.
Think about how much worse everything would be if Canada picked a different day to switch from daylight savings time.
Imagine living in Point Roberts and having daylight saving time when you go like from Point Roberts to Van.
I mean, imagine just living in Point Roberts right now.
There's that. My cousin's wife has family up there, and I went to visit one time. It's a trip. Like, we were coming from Bellingham, and we had to go through immigration and like explain like, this is my cousin's wife. Soon, she's getting me out of the house for the day.
I'm reading that most of Saskatchewan, despite geographically being in the mountain time zone, observes year-round Central Standard Time. This is probably why Regina, Saskatchewan is calling to me and why I'm a Rough Riders fan. They match my time.
This is the Arizona of
Canada. Many have said.
You're hearing it more and more.
Yukon has also abandoned seasonal time change and has moved to permanently observe year-round Mountain Standard Time.
The territory, not the school, correct?
I knew
Correct.
I felt a spiritual connection with the Yukon.
Yeah, shout out to the delightfully and aptly named Wikipedia article, Daylight Saving Time in Canada.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks,
in
Wiki.
that one too. It's great. Thank you, Wikipedia.
So
Donate to Wikipedia. They're cool. We use them a lot.
That's how we learn things.
We learn things. I honestly, I tagged Joey and let's see if our Canadian is here. No, he is not.
We can get started.
Okay, you could.
You're welcome. Is this the time to
do we need? Is this we're done with the cold open?
It's cold as it can be.
We can keep talking about wiki wormholes we've gone down.
Yeah.
We can do
Well,
that.
I mean, I'm currently on
that might
the
be the whole show.
I'm currently on the page for 1938 DePaul
nope.
football.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sickness Community Podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of April 1st, 2025. No, it isn't. April Fools. Yes, it is.
Hang on. Is there anything here? DePaul Blart Mall Cop?
Yes. My new Halloween costume.
Okay.
Along with Edward James Ole Miss.
Now
Let me add that to the Jordan homework pile.
Also, that would be a good Jeopardy before and after.
The Paul Blart Mall Cop.
I just wanted to throw that in there because
all right.
So like when I edit this show, I try to force myself to anytime someone says a word or phrase that sticks in my head to write it down, just so that when I go back at the end of editing the show, I don't have to think of a title. Sometimes it takes me longer to figure out what to name an episode than it does to actually edit it if I don't force myself to write some stuff down when I'm editing it. And so now I'm going to start this episode off having something written down, and that way I don't have to worry about it. Cause this past episode, I mean, we dropped it a little late. I was using 100% of that time to try to think of a title, because I was editing it on the train. I hadn't been doing my process where I write stuff down, and it just it took me a while.
Amtrak Wi-Fi delayed the podcast.
Okay, well, so no, I knew the whole time that wasn't I wasn't going to be able to use the Amtrak Wi-Fi to upload it. Do you know how big the audio file is for one of our episodes?
It's not small.
Here's something, right? So obviously when I'm on the road, I don't have my desktop computer with me. I have my laptop here, which is a MacBook Air. I cannot actually save the Audacity file.
Oh, Audacity gets really weird about large files, yeah.
So I can save the actual audio file that I export and upload, but the Audacity file, which that's the file for the actual editing program to edit the podcast, that file is too big to be saved on this M1 MacBook.
It is a big boy. Commish, I do have a problem with your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Amtrak Wi-Fi Delayed our podcast. It doesn't fit the meter.
No.
Yeah, it's one syllable too long.
So
Amtrak Wi-Fi slowed our podcast.
Or stopped. Either way.
I fixed it.
That's better. I just had this problem. I was going to say that.
Again, as you can tell, I'm the one that made this because I don't know meter. I don't know. I don't know music stuff.
Imperial only in podcast house. In Commish's house.
That's right. I sing in inches, in yards and feet. That's all I
Gallons.
Or
in miles.
Crank shaft. That's what I say. We weigh ourselves in stone in this house.
That's right. I only sing 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
How many stone are you, Commish?
I'm not stoned right now.
I have a scale. I got a travel scale for Boise that lets you measure yourself in stone.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so useless.
Yeah.
Weight to stone converter.
Yeah.
Conversion. Okay.
Joey just chugging down on a 2 liter of Pepsi.
I was going to go pour myself a drink, and I went to the washroom and then looked at my phone, and it was 10:03. So I just grabbed the Thule.
I really do respect you chugging directly from the 2 liter on this peer podcast. That is our vibe.
That's perfect.
That is the vibe we are bringing to the function.
I would love to say that this is a one-off of me just chugging straight from the Thule, but I don't like lying.
No, and we wouldn't accept your lies anyway.
Yeah, we would know.
God, this is such a Canadian phrase, a Thule.
I miss when we had 3 liters of soda. You used to be able to buy 3 liters of soda.
I hated the 3 liters, man. 3 liters sucked.
What
it
is
would
this?
go flat by the time you'd get to the end of it.
I must ask, do you guys not call them Thules? Is that it?
We don't call them Thules, no.
Okay.
We're not.
No, we call them gallons.
We're not Canadian.
There are things that happen where I say them and then everyone looks at me and I find out they're a Canadian thing. Like
I love this stuff.
The rapper Kevin's Original Sound is a Canadian only guy. I found out the other day.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Stuff like Thule 2-4.
Yeah, well,
milk bags.
2-4 comes from May 2-4, which is a holiday.
Now I'm just thinking about tiptoeing through the Thules.
You used to be able to get a 3 liter of soda with your pizza order.
God, man.
Now I'm just envisioning you in like the aisle in the store with all the 2 liters, just like flapping around like Homer Simpson in that one.
Mm-hmm. If I'm going to be honest, I think even a 2 liter is too big. Like 1 liter is good. I
didn't have the 1 liter for the longest.
I know. But I'm saying
it was
like
2 liter or nothing.
Yeah.
Like 1 liter. Like I was drinking a 1 liter water bottle on the train, and that lasted me the whole train ride.
Yeah, the Thule is supposed to last a couple days.
Yeah.
See,
It's for like you're having a party.
Right, like perfect size for a pizza party.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not.
3 liter was the perfect size for the pizza party.
You were more popular than me.
So is that something? Would you call that a 3-ly?
They don't sell them. I bet you those are illegal in Canada.
You know what? I
can't. In America.
I can't say I've seen a bottle bigger than 2 liters here.
I mean, they also don't have them in America anymore, apparently. So
yeah,
the 3-lys are gone. They're extinct.
You guys have 40s though in Canada, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't drink.
40 ounces?
I don't drink that much, so I have never partaken in the sacred practice that Dartmouth University has of the Edward 40 hands.
College.
Hey, Pitt does this
I
too.
was about to say Dartmouth College, and I tried to correct myself.
Edward 40
Everyone
hands
does
is a time-honored American tradition.
It feels
I
Ivy
will
League,
say,
though.
I have it
I
on
love
good
40s.
authority that the annual 40 hands that the Pitt College radio station did not survive the pandemic.
That does not surprise me.
So I'm trying to think. I might have actually been at the last one ever. Not like competing as like a like welcome back like past. You know when they brought
a 40
back.
hands alumnus.
Yeah, like I was like how I was at the Knicks game on Sunday and they honored Walt Clyde Frazier because it was his 80th birthday, like that sort of thing. But just hanging out at the 40 hands event.
The Edward 40 hands alumni game.
Yeah.
Just singing "Welcome Back, Cotter," but everybody's playing Edward 40 hands.
Like jugs. I love 40s. I'll be the first to say it. I love malt liquor. I love 40s. Cold 40s are great.
Raise your hand if you're surprised by this.
I
Exactly.
used to like 40s, and it's just too much for me now. Because like I don't
That's a
drink
lot.
like I used to. So I like it doesn't take as much alcohol, as much volume of alcohol as it used to
Next time we're all together, we should do a 40s tasting.
Oh god.
Like
tasting?
flights of 40s?
I
Yeah,
think you're
we go
right,
wine
but I
tasting.
hate it.
That's a flight of 40s is a 2x4.
I think you could find some differences between like Old English or Cobra or Colt 45.
Yeah, for sure. One of my friends, his favorite was Mickey's.
The brand that always called to me was Hurricane, because I just loved the text on the all of the copy on the Hurricane, both on their 40s and if you get their like 25-ounce cans. I love drinking those because
I remember all of these commercials growing up in New Orleans too for all of these.
Oh yeah,
brands.
I'm sure.
There was.
I feel like you don't see 40s commercials anymore.
No, you don't.
No.
Like
You
these
don't.
are not things that people are like, we need to advertise this.
I mean, no, you don't see Billy D. Williams advertising for Colt 45 anymore.
Smooth, Billy.
No, you don't see anything like that. Like, I mean,
do you guys know the Thunderbird jingle? What's
I
the
don't want
word?
to talk about Thunderbirds. Sorry, I
How's
don't
it
want to talk
sold?
about those.
Good and cold. What's the jive? Birds alive. What's the price? 30 twice. No one? No one. Okay,
Not
fine.
a single one
No.
of it. Nope.
I don't.
There are other jingles
we,
I remember. That's not one of them.
Thunderbird
we
is
have
so cool.
moved on past the Thunderbirds. All right.
Jordan, I do want to take this moment to point out that we are almost 15 minutes into the podcast and you have
Son of a
introduced
bitch.
no members of the podcast.
He barely got through the welcome before he got interrupted.
He was politely waiting
with
for
some
me.
Yinzer stuff.
As always, I am Jordan. With me tonight, I have Commish, Pitt Girl, Brigit, Canadian Joey, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Canadian Joey, how are you?
I'm doing good. I thought about starting this as it is. It was March 31st last night. It is April 1st today. And I thought about starting this bit by just going on a bit of a ramble and saying that I was filibustering the start of the podcast. But you know what? A, I don't have the energy for that. And B, we already kind of did that with the 40s discussion.
Oh, I can go long on 40s. Big Sky Brigit, how are you?
I've heard that about you.
Good. That was good.
Really, really bad 40 time at the
That
combine.
was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about how I am. I tried to think of something to say earlier, something funny, but I'm not going to top that.
Pitt Girl, how are you?
It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday indeed.
Can we start
Commish?
selling It's Tuesday, Happy Tuesday stickers?
Yeah, we can.
I tried to find a font for that, but I'm still working on it.
Okay. I'll see if I have something in my list. Commish, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I just want to say we're done with the Thunderbirds. We're on to the Tigers. So, you know, we're putting that loss behind us by the Thunderbirds last weekend, and we're moving forward. We're looking forward. The Coyotes looking forward to the Tigers. We're ready to go. Let's go.
Why did the names get all intense all of a sudden this year? Weren't they like the purple unicorns last year, and now it's like the Thunderbirds, the Dragons, the Tigers?
Yeah, let me see what my schedule
It's
is.
because they keep score now.
We have after the Tigers, we have something called the Whiptails.
What?
One look
Yes.
of them whiptail.
The Whiptails. Then we face the Tigers again. I don't know if it's another tiger.
Oh, it's a rough
There
ride.
may be more. Then we battle the Tornadoes, the Strikers, and our final game is against the Warriors. So we have a tough schedule.
Sounds like it.
Yeah,
Commish, I have to ask,
teams.
as the Sickos on Ice representative, as the Coyotes, do you use the old Arizona Coyotes Kachina logo?
I would love to.
It's available. No one's using it right now.
Nobody's using it,
That's
but
true.
I maybe need to recolor it and maybe put a soccer ball there instead of a hockey stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that. We'll get our best minds on that.
Yes. Go Yotes.
No, it doesn't work. I was gonna just take the Sickos Committee logo that I made today and just put "It's Tuesday, Happy Tuesday" on it. It doesn't work though. Damn.
We'll brainstorm the Happy Tuesday.
Folks, it is April Fool's Day. There has been much April foolishness around, but
Yes.
I believe first, before we get to anything else, Pitt Girl, you would like the floor?
I would. And I will briefly be going serious mode, which is not a thing we do super often on this podcast, but like we do have like serious thing to talk about as people who try to be funny about sports on the internet. And that is that other person who attempts to be funny about sports on the internet, Pat McAfee, continues to be extremely unfunny. If you have read The Athletic, which I encourage you to do, there are a lot of great writers at The Athletic. There was an article today by Katie Strang about Pat McAfee and his show, because recently he ran with a rumor that I will not repeat about an Ole Miss freshman and just like made her life a living hell. And that's a really shitty thing to do. I want to state for the record that I think that's a really shitty thing to do. I would like to ask for the record for men on the internet to stop being so fucking weird about women and just be normal. And like, can we just do the sports and talk about the sports and like have a good time talking about the sports without also being incredibly misogynist? I would like to think that we can. There are probably thousands of hours of this podcast at this time in which we are not doing that. But evidently, the worldwide leader in sports is not capable of not platforming people who can't be normal about, or of the worldwide leader is not capable of choosing not to platform a dude who is evidently not capable of not being weird about women. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So like I read this article and I was expecting, like, I didn't know the story, and this misses us completely because it's in the McAfee zone and the furniture company zone, so we don't see it committee wise, and we're not paying attention to those spaces because I mean that's not our thing. That's not how we like to view sports. We actually listen to women in sports, and it's fine. So I started reading this article and I'm like, okay, it's about this girl. I'm like, is she dating like a player? Is there some sort of like sports connection here? Is there some sort of like reason why this would make it there? And there was none. Like absolutely none. Like no connection to
there's no
anything
there.
related. No. But I'm like,
even if there was,
absolutely not.
There's
like
still,
you have like the thing about having a platform is knowing how to use your platform. And clearly, I'm going to censor myself here. I would just like Pat McAfee to, instead of having this platform, just go have a nice time.
And to OPG's point about the worldwide leader, this is a company that has made some telling decisions on the future of what they want their programming to be. And just to cite a minor example, they're cutting around the horn to give Pat McAfee acolytes more time. And I think if that's the direction the company is going, hopefully this can be some sort of wake-up call that that's a bad decision. And I think most people know it's a bad decision. Short-term ratings gain notwithstanding, I don't know if you're going to get that much from another hour of the Pat McAfee show.
What you're going to get is more of this.
This is it's lower stakes than everything else in the story, obviously, but like this is the direction this company is very clearly choosing to go. This is not something that happened.
No.
I mean, they are probably going to get sued, so that's something.
Yeah.
The thing that's interesting here too is looking at this story being out and the decisions that ESPN is making while Women's March Madness is going on, and that's their like flagship sports thing right now because there's not a lot else on, and CBS holds the men's contract. So like you want to juxtapose rank misogyny with highlighting women's sports? That seems like a winning business strategy.
Yes, I agree.
I'm just gonna say, like, I feel bad for the girl and the family involved here.
Yes,
it's I mean, it's something that shouldn't have happened. It feels like very gossipy, trashy for someone to even bring it up. I mean, it's just like that. I'm not even going to get into the details of what occurred, but it's just like that's something that's like family and friends. That doesn't need to be random non-public person. Let's talk about it on ESPN.
Also, to be 100% clear, the rumor in question is false.
Well, yeah. Of course.
So like not only like even if it were true, which again, I will reiterate, it is not. It is not something.
Matter.
Yeah,
she's
not
way,
a celebrity. She's not a public figure. There was no reason for any of this.
None of it.
We can cut this if we want. I'm remembering the complete difference in tone, and obviously I'm sure this is not lost on anyone else, but it is worth pointing out the complete difference in tone of. Remember when, and this was sports, a very similar rumor followed around Zach Wilson for a minute. And the tone that even serious sports writers took was maybe the complete opposite of this. And that was tangentially related to sports. And I think that got less talk than this did for the minute it was up in this, I'll say, sphere of influence that this area has.
it's not our area. Like things like this is not our area. We don't do stuff like that. If you prefer sports the way that we bring it to you, in enjoying everything, every detail, basically, having a good time with all the little stories in sports, having fun, sharing everybody's fun stories. That's what we do. We're not here to do stuff like this that happened.
Mhm.
That's not us.
Yeah.
And we value the ladies on our podcast, the ladies that follow us. Look,
To be clear, yeah, right. To be clear, I wanted to talk about this because we don't do this,
Right.
but the worldwide leader is doing this. And
Again,
what does
and
that
having a
say?
platform and
Right.
being able to call this out and
Right.
to very clearly repudiate everything connected to this, like the sphere that it exists in, the kind of environment that allows these things to bloom and fester. When you have this kind of platform, it's very important to call it out and to say, absolutely not in my name, not in my space. I'm not even going to entertain this, and you can fuck all the way off.
Yes. Yeah. And I am reasonably confident that I am preaching to the choir among our listeners, but this is a thing that is important to me to address because I love college sports. I think it should be a space that's open and welcoming to everyone. But when things like this happen on large national platforms, it becomes very clear that it's not and why it's not. And do better.
Right. And it reminds you when you're one of those people who are typically gate kept out of sports that you're not welcome. And
Right.
it does not feel good. And speaking of welcoming, I just want to say happy Trans Day of Visibility, one day late to all our trans friends. We love you and we're glad you're here.
Yes.
All good. Let's talk about
perfect.
Let's talk about April Fool's things.
That's right. On a lighter note,
since today
Sorry, shifting tone.
Yeah, we are taking a hard left turn out of serious mode and back into silly mode where we belong.
We have shifted. We have hit the
thank
clutch.
you guys for coming with us on that. It was an important point to make, and we're glad to be able to make it. But
the whole time
now let's get to the fun part. The part
the whole
that you
time
came
I'm like,
here for.
The whole time I'm like, don't talk over the ladies. Did I talk over the ladies? I don't want to do that. I want to say stuff, but I want to make sure they
Everybody
say stuff.
talks over each other all the time. It's all we do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is crossed off the podcast. It's fine.
That's true.
Equal opportunity, bad audio.
Yes. Perfect.
Let's talk about some of the things that we saw that we enjoyed for April Fools. I think we all said that we're sort of over it for the most part.
This is what I hate that happens. Like they have April Fool's jokes. They make jokes, but we actually want this. And this is how we wound up bullying Utah State into giving us the cow helmet last year. The Utah State. This is how this happened. Now we have to do this to these schools that did this. So go ahead, Jordan. Read off what we got. The three things that we have here. These are April Fool's pranks. They tried to play on us, but we're like, okay, do this now.
We have Sad Husky at the middle of UConn's field.
Yes, immediate. Yes,
need it so bad.
You have no idea, like how many UConn fans just want this for a game.
Like,
just
look at the sales from the Sad Husky on home field. You put this on stuff, you're going to print money.
Yes, I like. Don't you dare tease us, UConn. Don't play with our emotions. We want the Sad Husky on the field. We would love it if you put the Sad Husky on the side of your helmet for a game. Like, give us that game. Give us. Hey, if you're worried about the Sad Husky being memed, do it against your FCS opponent. Like, just do it there for your homecoming game.
No, do it against UMass. Do it against UMass.
Do it against UMass. Sad Husky. Yeah, I mean, let's go. It's got to be done. It should have been done. I can never find football uniforms with that on it. Like, I want that. I want this. I will buy a uniform. I will buy a mini helmet. You do this, UConn.
I will buy a full-size helmet and wear it to the game.
Done. And we'll pay that with Patreon money. If that happens, UConn. Do it.
That's what the money's for.
That's right. We will spend Patreon money for this.
That's what the money's for.
That's right.
Sit in the crowd wearing a helmet with a visor, holding up a sign, doing TikTok dances. Go UConn.
That's right. UConn mentioned.
We also have Arizona State threatening to turn their field maroon, which looks great.
Threatening?
Yeah, I honestly, I'm into this. I thought I would hate it, but I really don't.
No, I love it. It looks great.
One thing we've had some suggestions in our Patreon. The end zones need to be reversed. The end zones need to be yellow with maroon text.
Yes.
Eastern Michigan does this because their color is green, but I like this in general. Everyone with a different colored field should do what Eastern Michigan does and make the end zones green.
Okay.
That always fucks me up so badly.
Yeah.
The green end zones and the green E in the middle of the gray field fuck me up so badly.
God, I love it.
Is the color balance on my TV fucked up? No, Eastern Michigan's just like that.
I love watching Eastern Michigan football just for like the mind trip that it is. Period. A lot of the times they're wearing green uniforms on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have green on the gray, and it's like, wait, the green's supposed to be on the ground and the gray is supposed to be on them. And so like everything about it is just like, if I was in like the 1960s watching this, I'd be tripping on Eastern Michigan football.
Darned thing, just hitting the TV over and over.
Adjusting the knobs.
If you were watching this in the 1960s on your TV, it probably wouldn't be in color. So it might be a little easier for you to understand, or maybe harder.
I would have been.
I don't know.
I'd have been rich for color TV in the 1960s.
I think
I thought Commish was going to say. Commish was going to say I would have been 12 years old at that year time.
Arthur,
back in my day.
That reminds me. I forget which American League team. I think the team. Oh, I can't remember, but one of the teams made in a retro jersey this year, back to like the 50s, what they wore. But I don't know if they didn't know and they were just looking at pictures, or if they did it as a bit. But they made the shoulders on the jersey gray, but in real life they were yellow. But they were going off of black and white pictures.
I mean, so here's what I would like to see a team do. I would like to see a team have just the part of the field between the 20-yard line and the goal line red.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's the red zone.
We're actually about the red zone.
Okay.
Pitt needs to do this, and it needs to be the catch-up zone, as God intended.
I feel like if it would just be embarrassing if Pitt did it. Like, this team put the red zone on the field and they still can't score from there. It's got to be a team like, I don't know, with like, I feel like maybe like an option team or just someone who's just really good at executing.
You could do Texas Tech.
I still believe in the potential of Cade Bell, score Moss.
The tortilla 20-yard line for Texas Tech. I mean, you can see like some sponsors. I mean, maybe ULM has Johnny's Pizza, just sponsors the red zone, and it's like a Johnny's Pizza box color red zone.
I would like that.
It would work. It'd be fun. But like, I can't imagine how hot maroon would be in Arizona, though. That's just one thing. Even though Kenny Dillingham said it's not that hot.
Well, and there's that one.
Call me, Kenny. I'll come visit. Kenny,
we're coming. You do the maroon. We're coming.
Even beside that, there's that one SUNY school that made their field black, and they did all the tests and ran all the numbers, and it's not that much hotter than a regular one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be curious with that, and then the Eastern Washington field, because that's also red, but like an obnoxiously red.
Do you know who does all this research? It's Penn State. Penn State's the head of the front of all this turf research.
I thought Penn State did like real grass.
They do, but they also have all their turf research.
Is
real
is
grass
their stadium
in a river?
Is their stadium turf or is it grass?
I think it's
Arizona
grass.
State.
Penn State's grass. Because I remember that
Yeah,
one.
I mean, in this
Arizona
context,
State.
turf means grass.
Okay.
Like the Center for Turf Grass Science is about the thing that grows, not about plastic.
But they also did the research on for.
Oh,
Oh yes, synthetic turf
Yes.
research. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not crazy.
I know.
No, I understood you.
I am, but
Hey.
Not about this.
I'm crazy about prices being so low. I got nothing.
Shop our store.
There are so many studies in here about microbial populations on plastic turf. Like, so many.
Speaking of wormholes,
Well,
I could go down. No, I could go down this wormhole. I could just read all these articles. Like, yes, this is fascinating.
Also, the worms that live
3 in the morning.
live in the rubber of the turf. They make wormholes.
Mm-hmm.
that's how the Sun Devils come out.
Yes, I agree. They should rise from underneath the field for their
Yes.
entrance. The opposite of Clemson.
I thought they just cast corners on the field and then they summon the Sun Devil up.
The other April Fool's joke that I liked, that I want, is the Big Red Court.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I like
Looks great.
the big red basketball court.
I like any court where you can take a logo too.
Yeah, it's just like from the logo, and it's like he's shooting a free throw.
Yeah.
That's happening more and more nowadays.
You'd be
Yeah.
taking you'd be shooting a free throw from where the mouth is,
Mhm.
like the corners
You
of the
would be.
mouth.
Exactly. I think the Ivy League had a big logo this year, right?
Oh, it did. It had,
Ivy
it had all
did.
the names real good.
Gigantic.
Yeah, Ivy typically has that like huge logo. Also, the college basketball crown has a giant logo too. It's incredible.
Have we watched any Crown yet?
I have. I watched a little bit. I watched
How
Nebraska
was
ball.
it?
Nebraska ball with a big comeback.
Was
We're
it
talking
worth?
Nebraska
Was it
ball.
worth destroying the CIT?
I mean, the CIT, yeah, the NIT is going on. Shout out to UC Irvine for making the championship game. Zot.
We just
That-
have to close our eyes and pretend that the college basketball crown is just the CIT. Congratulations, USC. You've made the CIT.
So instead of the CIT, it's the CBC, and it should be in Canada. That's right. I made a Canadian reference, folks.
Proud of you.
Woo!
Work hard on this. Were there
Work
any
hard
other
on
April Fool's things that we liked?
There was a couple of different other April Fool's things that I had to give a shout out to. UW Oshkosh football. So that's University of Wisconsin Oshkosh football.
Oh my God, Oshkosh!
Oshkosh, bagosh, yes. We needed Beth here, but apparently her internet is down. So they had to tar and ship her internet.
Honestly, probably.
Probably. So UW Oshkosh, which apparently followed us.
They do now.
They followed us. Like when I saw this tweet come across, I'm like, they follow us. I'm like, I followed them back. I'm like, if I see a team following us, I'm like, yes, we're following you. This is breaking major upgrades coming to J.J. Keller Field in 2026, featuring gold turf, an Olympic-sized pool, a special team strategy center, and then a skate park for recovery and recruiting. The Oshkosh Sports Complex is going next level. And I love this image so much because they just basically did the classic, like nearly like copy and paste Photoshop level that I can do. Like this is what I'm capable of, and this is what they pulled off. I love every little bit about this image. It's absolutely incredible. Like you see the skate park on like the open side of the babe, we could tailgate in the skate park.
I want them to make it happen, and I need them over the speakers in the skate park to just be playing the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 soundtrack on loop.
Yeah.
See, I heard tailgate
Here
the
I
skate park,
am.
and for some reason I'm picturing riding a hot dog cart down into the lip.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Or like, did you ever play Kirby Air Ride?
Yeah.
You know how you can get the sushi cart? If you're doing city trial, you can drive around in the sushi cart. That.
That's right. You put on moon gravity, and then you start doing some awesome tricks like in Tony Hawk 2. I love the fact that this pool, like there's like nothing around the pool. It's just like a pool in the ground.
Oh yeah, it's just in the middle of nowhere.
It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's like Olympic sized pool. I'm like, I had to quote it, and I was just like, "Hey, you can even turn the pool into a skating rink for snow games."
That's true.
It looks like a City Skylines mod that just isn't loading right.
Like this is so, it's so good because one, they didn't use AI. Two is that they took the time to do this, and it looks like good, like everything aligns. Like this is a really good work for like something so silly, and for being a D2 school, to pull something off like this. I really enjoyed the effort from those UW Oshkosh.
Not D2, D3. Thank you very much.
D3, sorry.
The only reason I know that is because Iowa has
Wisconsin
has
has
one
no
D1
D2.
school,
Yeah.
no D2s, and over 10 D3s.
D3.
Just like how West Virginia has 2 FBS schools and then a fuck ton of D2s.
Yeah.
Way more D2s than I thought could exist.
It's weird how some states are like, we got all the D1s you want, and then there's like no D2s, and there's like 700 D3s. It's weird. I think like Texas kind of like that too. They don't have too many D2s, right?
Not anymore. Most of them have jumped up.
Most of them have jumped up to FCS now. So all the D2s in like Texas have moved up. It's weird how some states, like out west, like there's no D2, right?
No, there's no D2 out west. Not no D2 football.
Yeah, not much at all. So it's like you have like D1, D3. There's a little bit of D2, but not much whatsoever. It's crazy how they have the classifications like that.
Can I offer you a nice Pennsylvania where we have all the Pokemons?
Pennsylvania has like all the chips. You just got everything in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do, except Buc-ee's.
That's why they call it a Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Is that why they call it a Commonwealth, Pitt Girl?
No.
Their Commonwealth is potato chips.
That is accurate.
For the common welfare.
What is Virginia's Commonwealth then?
Virginia is
Titties.
for lovers.
Titties.
Titties.
Titties and stabbing tyrants.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right, but you sound confident enough that I believe you.
There, we talked about this on the most recent episode of the show.
It's
they have
on
a
their
titty on the
flag.
state flag.
Mm-hmm. Just hanging out.
Like what states are Commonwealths?
Kentucky, Virginia, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania.
So Kentucky, that's the Commonwealth of bourbon, right? Or horses.
And horses,
Okay.
yeah.
What was the other one? Massachusetts?
Massachusetts. It's Dunkin' Donuts in Massachusetts.
It's the Commonwealth of Duncan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that works.
Our good friend Marissa and Jemmy mentioned that it kind of fucks up everything up that the transfer portal season is on April Fools.
I was just like, wait. And so
121 different hockey players entered the transfer portal today, and I'm pretty sure that most of them are not April Fool's jokes.
that's the thing. It's like there's all these players entering the transfer portal, and then like if you have the thing on Twitter or whatever, the blue check, and you just change your name to like you look like a reporter. It's like, is this a real transfer thing or not? So it's a bit problematic.
I feel like, especially on a wonderful website like X the Everything app, you have to do that 365 days of the year.
True.
Because, that's just what it is. I do like, so the one that I saw that I thought was interesting is like, you can use April Fool's Day to throw some shade, right? Like, let's say you're not a college athlete, you're an athlete in a different sport where you can't just like enter the transfer portal. You can like make an April Fool's Day post about something like that just to like kind of throw shade at your current team or something. Because there was a Norwegian biathlete, Vetle Sjastad Christensen, who he made a post on Instagram that like he was switching over to Belgium, and there's like been some drama recently about like him getting left off like some World Cup rosters and stuff. So I think that's kind of an interesting one for April Fools. to
like a country transfer portal.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is not like you would need to like get citizenship or some other like way to tie you to that country. You can't just transfer in like terms of international competition, but I mean I just thought that was definitely an interesting thing to put on Maine. That that you're not happy with your your national
Country. Yeah,
federation.
your
Yeah.
national team, yes.
Yeah.
Back in the day, transfer portaling between countries carried a lot more political weight.
I mean, that's how the U.S. won multiple medals at the last biathlon world championship.
I was going to say they used
So-
they used to call that defecting.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things people do because you can switch. You just have to have certain there are a lot of people in the world, not just athletes, who have dual citizenship or have various other like claims where oh, maybe they were born in one country but then they grew up in another. Like there's a lot of situations. I want to say like soccer, they make you pick at like a certain age and you
Yeah.
can't go back, but for a lot of Olympic sports you can move around.
That actually just reminded me. There was one thing that happened this week. I didn't put this in the show doc because I didn't think it would come up, but it came up naturally. The Women's World Hockey Championship rosters came out, and Team Canada put on a player named Hannah Miller, and that's very interesting because people thought she was ineligible. Now, if you go back to previous Olympics, you won't see or World Championships, you won't see someone named Hannah Miller. You will see on Team China a white person named Mi Li on the roster at some point, which was in fact Hannah Miller, who got dual citizenship because she played for a Chinese pro team for a couple of years. And she tried to come back and play, and she played under a Chinese name, which was Mi Li. And then she came back and tried to play for Team Canada this year because she's now good enough. She wasn't at the time. And the IIHF has blocked it, which doesn't usually happen. Usually you're allowed to switch nationalities if it's been at least 3 years since you last played for the national team and you've played in that country for that long. But they've blocked it at this point. So we've said on Sickos on Ice, it's weird that they've blocked Hannah Miller's citizenship claim or switching nationalities because, as far as I can tell in the records, she's never played in any World Championships. By the way, what has ever happened to that Chinese prospect Mi Li? It's weird how she hasn't played in any World Championships lately.
Somebody did try the country transfer portal. I like this.
Yeah.
Like Arthur's like, you should try this. Oh wait, great.
We also had Pitt Athletics putting up Dino Cat today.
Dino Cat.
Yes. Quality bit, A+, no notes.
And they didn't promise anything. They just put the picture up and said, "Here you go."
They just put Dino Cat. Like
Here's Dino Cat.
They put Eli Holstein in Dino Cat though. In
Okay.
a picture. So there was a little bit of that. Speaking of the transfer portal thing, Purdue Pete on Instagram, which Purdue Pete is exclusively on Instagram, does not post on the Twitter anymore. So
He does not.
Taking a stand. Says that Purdue Pete enters the NCAA transfer portal. I wanted to know, like, what schools could Purdue Pete transfer to?
Colorado School of Mines, Georgia Tech. I'm a
Okay.
rambling Pete from Georgia Tech.
So, I mean, like, you got to replace the current mascot with that. Could like Purdue Pete like knock out Friar Dom from Providence?
Probably.
Okay. And now it's just like Friar Pete?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's become a man of the cloth.
Okay.
He takes the vows.
Okay.
Is Friar Dom Catholic? He has to be, right?
He's a friar. Yes.
Friar.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are non-Catholic friars.
Does a bear poop in the woods?
They're non-Catholic. I'm not getting into
Name
that.
a non-Catholic friar.
Friar Tuck. He
I
was
don't know who that is.
he was a pagan wizard. I know Robin Hood.
They're okay. Wait, hang on. This is like
Come on, Wikipedia, give me the answer I want.
friar.
We're back on Wikipedia looking at friars.
Franciscan spirituality and Protestantism.
So
Okay.
here's my thing though. Like
Here's your
it's
thing.
Providence, right? Like that's a Catholic university.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that. That was my problem.
They're in the Big East.
would you
Okay, yeah,
call
okay.
would you call him Priest Pete?
Orders of friars per Wikipedia, for the Wikipedia page for friar. Orders of friars and sisters exist in other Christian traditions, including the Order of Lutheran Franciscans, the Order of Ecumenical Franciscans, and the Order of Lesser Sisters and Brothers. In the Anglican communion, there are also a number of mendicant groups, such as the Anglican Friars Preachers, the Society of St. Francis, and the Order of St. Francis. So yes, you are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
So my bit about Protestant Pete being crashing that. Whatever I was about to say, in the garbage.
They're covering me in mayo.
That's correct.
I have to always hit that one for some reason.
It's a good one.
Now you can put Beth in the show notes. She made it onto the show.
There we go. What is this torpedo bat, and why would it matter to me?
Dude, I'm okay. So there is
so funny.
I want to talk about this really quick because this is kind of like set the Major League Baseball world on fire. So the Yankees have reviewed the MLB like bat barrel standards on like what the circumference of a bat could be, how long the barrel could be. Like they actually analyzed this. So like the settings for this has never been analyzed in like the 150 years of baseball. So they did something like really technical that like nobody's really kind of ever done before. They adjusted the barrel of the bat. So there is a torpedo bat now where they put the fat part of the bat down lower than where it was before, because that's the spot that you make the most contact. So you get the bigger part of the barrel, which is moved down from where it was before. And it looks like a torpedo kind of a little bit in that nature, because now it's like really skinny where the barrel of the bat, like the handle of the bat is like super skinny, and then like it just gets really wide all of a sudden. And so there's a lot of takes on the baseball internet on this. And the torpedo bat is kind of like, it's like, hey, this feels like, hey, we didn't know the rules that you could do this. And like nobody ever thought of doing this. And so now the Yankees have thought about doing this, and now they're hitting like more dingers, hitting more home runs in the beginning of this season. And so people are like kind of like the records of baseball, like the hitting records, the most hollowed records they always talk about. Now they're just like the traditionalists of baseball are like up in arms. Go ahead, Arthur.
So as a motorsports fan, this is hilarious to me, people getting worked up about this, because someone analyzing the rules from a technical perspective and then trying to design something to gain an advantage is like pretty much the history of motorsports, right? Like the only thing that would be different if this happened in motorsports was they would go the extra step of getting this sponsored by buildsubmarines.com. But this is, it's funny to me. And I get why baseball fans, at least some of them, would be up in arms about this. It's because baseball fans can get up in arms about anything that happens in the sport of baseball.
It's their favorite thing to do, to be up in arms.
Yeah.
Pitt Girl, yes.
BuildSubmarines.com is real.
It's a NASCAR sponsorship. They sponsor a bunch of NASCAR stuff.
Giants are built here.
If someone is sponsoring motorsports, then they must be real. Like you wouldn't spend all that money to sponsor something if you weren't real, right?
Shout out to DC Solar.
Yeah. Oh, that was a really not real one.
This is amazing. Can they sponsor a bowl game? I want to go to the buildsubmarines.com.
I'm actually genuinely surprised they don't already. It's up their alley.
I mean, yeah, they should get the military bowl.
the buildsubmarines.com military bowl. Yep. Yeah.
Is that the one at Navy?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Then yes.
It is also delightful right now. Right now it's the gobowling.com military bowl, which is also delightful and a NASCAR sponsor.
So I love this so much. Like I really love, like this has kind of excited me for baseball because the Pirates are awful again. They got walked off 3 times by the Marlins in their first 4 games. It was great.
In
Like
other
blow-
water is
blow-
wet.
They're done.
Yeah.
Okay, they're already done for the season.
It feels that way. They play today too? Yeah, they lost 7-0 to the Rays, so they are they started 1-5. So yeah, they're done already. So they did just option their closer to the minors, the closer that blew.
Is that going to help anything?
I don't know, probably not. But it's enough about the Pirates. But it's like my dad's not even texting me about this year at all. It's just like I'm done. I'll hear from him in a couple weeks about the Pirates. But the torpedo bat thing is fascinating to me because it has everybody like up in arms over something that is technically correct. It's technically legal. They've just like slid certain things down, and it's funny to me that this is kind of like baseball is incredibly traditional. Everybody gets mad about the unwritten rules of the game, but this is a written rule. Like this rule is written, and nobody really thought to like adjust this where you could put the most wood on a bat, which is hilarious that this hasn't happened until now. And then, people are mad that the Yankees are the one that found out about it. I mean,
I mean, in terms of being connected to motorsport, I would say the Yankees are up there. They're not the most connected to motorsport, because the team that is sponsored by BuildSubmarines.com is owned by the same group that owns the Red Sox. But the Yankees, the Steinbrenner family has had some involvement in motorsports in the past. So I'm thinking that's probably where they figured this out.
Oh, the Steinbrenner family of Tropicana, not Tropicana, Tampa's Steinbrenner Field?
Yes.
That's the one.
You want to take another
those
run at that one?
Steinbrenners?
No, I don't want to take another shot at that one. Thank you. It wasn't funny enough to do a second run at it.
So the thing is, like, people are like, is this just a short-term thing? Or is this a long-term innovation? It's great when you actually have something fun baseball to talk about, I guess. Mm-hmm. A lot of people hate the Yankees, which it's fine. Everybody hates the Yankees.
Can confirm, hate the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Shout out to 1960 and Bill Mazeroski.
Do you know what my favorite way to consume baseball is, I've found?
What? Watching one inning a year?
Close Call Sports on YouTube.
Okay.
They're YouTube explainers of baseball rules.
Yeah.
Like with live examples. And also they do a video for every ejection and why they were ejected. Yeah. This is the best way to consume baseball.
The baseball I need to get back watching is the Finnish baseball of Pesapalo. So I just needed to go back to that. But the thing that fascinated me about this and brought the torpedo bat into the conversation for me is the Durham Bulls. They open the season on April Fools, which they follow us, we follow them. It says breaking Bulls batters will be using an actual torpedo as a bat starting on opening night tonight. So if you didn't have the background of that, the torpedo bat thing, you probably wouldn't have gotten that joke. And so I explained the joke. It's fine. I said it's going to be subs and torpedo night, and they're going to show the movie U571 after the game.
Oh, I thought we were going to show The Hunt for Red October.
I was going to say down Periscope.
Das Boot.
Das Boot. Yeah, everybody was like, how could you not say this sub movie? I was like, dude, whatever. I just said sub movie. There was like replies. It's like, you should have said this sub movie. Would have applied better.
Where was Crimson Tide?
It would have been more
Hackman just passed away.
Where was that 5-minute scene of Beer Fest where they're in a submarine?
Yeah, what about McHale's Navy? I'm like, what the hell, man?
What about the Paw Patrol? Paw Patrol are in a sub.
Oh my god.
There's a submarine in Fate of the Furious. Why don't you show that?
The worst part about there being Paw Patrol subs is that once again, Zuma has one job as the Aquadog. He doesn't get to do much.
Okay.
I think when you give everyone else a water vehicle, They just did the same thing to Sky. They have jet pups now. Sky
Yep.
is the jet girl.
They've had jet pups for a while.
But now they're specific, like they have the new merchandise.
I just want to take a moment to reiterate that the editorial position of this podcast is that Paw Patrol is propaganda.
Please
100%.
please don't say
It's
that.
Canadian.
All dogs go to heaven except those class traitors in the Paw Patrol.
Listen, I agree with you, but I can't say this publicly or else I'll get disinvited from family gatherings.
Oh,
Because up in Canada, the only police you have are the Paw Patrol. That's what I've learned.
I've said this on the show before, but I can't remember. But my brother is the voice of the cop dog.
yeah,
Why-
you have said
Wait,
that before.
Chase?
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is a real thing.
Yeah,
Bridget!
Paw Patrol is banned in my
So
house. by the
every
way.
time you're mad at cop dog, remember you're mad at my half brother.
Here's the thing. I don't get mad at Paw Patrol. I just put my headphones in.
Do you know what? That's fair.
Why does the cop dog always have to go? He does
Because my
he's not
family needs those
always-
paychecks.
Yeah, dude.
Poor Zuma and Rocky. Now that Rebel has his own show, he's gotten an inflated role. Marshall at least gets one joke an episode, but sometimes Zuma doesn't even talk.
Marshall gets the same joke every episode.
I've been fully turned.
Yeah.
I am not immune to bias. Actually, cop dog good, and he should be in every episode, in my opinion.
Well, he was writer's first dog, which is the thing that we learn in the Paw Patrol movie.
Are we gonna have to sit through 6 fucking movies so every one of them gets a movie?
The Paw Patrol movie is non-canon
The Paw
because my
Pat-
brother's not in it.
The Paw
Oh.
Patrol cinematic universe.
That also weirds me out that the movies have a completely different cast. Different writer, different everything. Same adults, but different everything else.
The animation's so much better.
I know. It's when you actually can tell what kind of dog Sky is supposed to be. Sorry, this is a Paw Patrol podcast now.
Fuck!
The 2 parents on this two of the 3 parents. on this
No,
podcast
Paw Patrol is
taken
banned
over.
in my house. Y'all can just yell at
It
this.
was banned
Like,
for forever, and then
I
my
banned it.
kid went and had play dates with friends who
Nope.
had Paw Patrol stuff.
Nope.
And then he just found it one day. And
haven't.
there was one time we had to go to the ER. This is not a
I
bummer.
don't care.
Just for
I'm letting my kiddos
respiratory
watch.
distress. And the Paw Patrol movie was on, and I was like, you know what? You're in the hospital right now. You can watch the Paw Patrol movie.
I'm letting my kiddo watch something from Kyrgyzstan. I don't care. No Paw Patrol.
I'm
Much
sorry,
like
where was
Stitch
that?
watched John Wick.
Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
can't say it right.
You want
That
to
would
take
be-
another run at Kyrgyzstan?
I'm gonna guess
Kyrgyzstan.
who's going with
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan.
I like Mish's pronunciation better. That was better.
Kyrgyzstan.
I will say
It's a good job.
I heard I watched a TikTok the other day by a friend of the program, Sky, and she nailed Kyrgyzstan and then said Kazakhstan. So
Kazakhstan.
Can't win
I
them
got
all.
that one right.
I see. Whenever I fly on a plane, or I guess like this, like I was riding Amtrak this past weekend, but that it's not on the
If
train I
you,
was on.
if
It
you
wasn't
didn't
assigned
realize,
seating.
Arthur was on the train. He wrote
Yeah.
2 blocks.
He was on
I
Amtrak.
always like
Yeah.
I know people have takes about like children on planes, and I'm always like, oh man, like please don't sit me next to a child. Like please don't sit me next to a child. Not because I have any objections to children. I just want to watch John Wick movies without feeling awkward about like a child looking over and seeing him killing all those people.
What if there's a child behind you? Then they're looking through.
I mean, they probably aren't tall enough to see over the seat though.
Through.
Yeah, but they can see it between them.
Yeah, only a little bit.
So all
Yeah.
you're seeing is John Wick going by. That movie about that nice young man who dances with those other men.
Yeah,
They
he's a
moved
dog.
really fast.
You can see the
He's got a
dog.
dog. It was great. There's a car involved. He has nice dinner.
Hold on. I have something. I'm just putting it in the chat. This is probably going to sidetrack things.
It's okay. I'll sidetrack
More
something
than
real
Paw
quick,
Patrol?
too.
Yeah.
So when you
We
mentioned
say
how
this as though we
poorly-
have not spent the last 5 minutes on Paw Patrol.
yeah, you mentioned how poorly the Pirates season started. I just looked up to see how far opening day prices have started, right? Because they are playing the first 2 series in Florida before they come home to Pittsburgh for their home opener.
Yeah.
The home opener prices are down to $69,
Nice.
like to get in. That's the lowest on SeatGeek.
Commish.
Yeah, a commission thing that you put in the chat is absolutely going to derail the podcast.
Yeah.
This is a campaign poster for Oski the Bear that reads, Oski Bear for Senate, asterisk. More bears, furry rights, less red on campus, hashtag on for OSCE. The asterisk is all titles for ID purposes.
All right, I need us to go around the horn. Furry rights. What do we think furry rights are?
I feel like it's got to be getting to wear your fursuit to class. Although at Berkeley, the furries are always hanging out. So
I
someone
had
for being
people in
impressed.
my Japanese TA classes who would come to class and cosplay.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah. When I took German in college, I cosplayed my German class, but they weren't nearly as excited about that.
I mean, I arguably wore crazier stuff to classes when I was in college, so
yeah,
I feel like
they showed up at the end of a very serious movie thing. To be fair, they were kind of hanging out in the hall, like being a little unobtrusive. But I told them they still should have waited, further away from the group of people watching an atomic bomb movie while they're standing there in their Naruto cosplay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They didn't like that. I chewed them out for that, and they didn't like it. But I was in the right, so.
Brigit, I was envisioning, here we are in our Miyazaki cosplay. Oh no, we're watching Grave of the Fireflies.
No, well, it wasn't great. It was a live action movie. It was White Light, Black Rain during an atomic bomb series that one of my professors was doing. And they were just kind of hanging out. They're like, she asked us to come. And I was like, yeah, you could have waited until you saw people leaving the room and then start walking into class.
I took French in high school, so I also cosplayed as French in that I was very rude to everyone else.
Hell yeah.
Hey, that's not funny, Joey. We don't make fun of French Canadians here.
I didn't say French Canadians.
Yeah, just the French. You can always make fun of the French. It's fine.
You know who we don't make fun of? Our Patreon followers for $5 a month.
Yeah,
Join
we
our
do.
Patreon.
We make fun of them.
Join our Patreon, get access to our Discord for $5 a month. Come talk to us, get access to our special podcast, including the series that just finished, our drought series, where we talked about the Northwestern football slide of the 70s and 80s.
I started working on one today for the Columbia one. So there may be one coming soon, another one. But I love looking at this stuff. It's great. And somebody was just like, they referenced Dennis Green today, and I'm like,
Like they are who we thought they were, Denny Green?
That's right. He's the one that broke the streak. He was the coach at Northwestern that broke the streak.
He's the coach at Northwestern. They got Big Ten Coach of the Year going 3-8.
Big Ten Coach of the Year at 3-8 because he broke 3 separate streaks for Northwestern. The longest losing streak in FBS history. The longest Big Ten losing streak in history. The longest road losing streak in Division I history. Incredible.
Oh, I lost the notes.
Oh no. I'm
Found
not going
it.
to ask how many tabs.
Oh
you
no,
have
disaster. Now in our store.
Found you guys again. Good. I got everything in front of me. We have our store, sickoscommunity.org. Our pre-order for our little Sicko stand dudes is extended till April 7th, so jump on that if you're interested. We have our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitch. Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They go the places we refuse to go. And as always, for the softest, comfiest, officially licensed collegiate apparel, choose Home Field Apparel. Use offer code yes, yes, 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. I see a Big Sky hoodie, Montana State shirt. I'm wearing my Fightin' Okra shirt. So we're all already set up.
Montana State for Big Sky Brigit.
Hell yeah, thank you, sir.
And she's got the Big Sky hoodie on, so.
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
it was cold today. I had to find it. It's my warmest hoodie.
Cold. What is that?
The oatmeal hoodies are
It was
extra
snowing
warm,
this
I
morning.
swear.
It was cold.
Oh, God.
And I didn't want to put on other shoes.
I gotta
so
move
wore
to
flip-flops.
Montana. I'm moving to Montana.
Craving your next action-packed adventure? Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command, like Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, where a lone astronaut must save humanity from extinction, narrated with stunning intensity by Ray Porter. From electrifying suspense and daring quest to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms, unleash your adventurous side with gripping titles that'll keep you guessing. Discover exclusive Audible originals, hotly anticipated new releases, and must-listen bestsellers that hook you from the first minute. Because Audible knows there's no greater thrill than the one that speaks to you. Discover what lies beyond the edge of your seat. Start your free 30-day trial at audible.com/WonderyUS. That's audible.com/WonderyUS.
Commish,
It snowed like half the day.
Yes, yeah.
where did Dennis Green go after Northwestern?
To Stanford.
And what did we just find out
Wait,
about
no.
what's happening
Actually,
at Stanford?
Sorry, he had a little stop as a wide receivers coach for the 49ers.
Yeah, but
And
you know
won-
what I meant.
And won a Super Bowl and beat the shit out of the Broncos and Stanford's John Elway 55-10. But he
Commissioner,
went to
breaking the
Stanford.
segue.
I brought it back.
No, it was necessary. It was you
Look,
always
I
gotta
said
shit
like,
on
hey,
John Elway
he
and the
went to
Broncos.
San Francisco first, and then he won a Super Bowl by beating the shit out of Stanford's John Elway. So now we're back to Stanford.
And
And
what
then
did,
he went to Stanford.
and what did Andrew Luck do? He announced there is
right.
one. The White Smoke at Palo Alto was released, and they are getting who, Commish?
Mr. Frank Reich.
Surely a coach with lots of, well, he has lots of head coaching experience. Commish, does he have a lot of success at head coach?
I'm gonna say kind of. I'm not blaming his stint. I'm not blaming his stint in Carolina.
No.
I'm not doing
He's
that.
he's on the John L contract, right? He's only doing for 1 year and then leaving.
Yes, he is an interim head coach. He is stepdad, the dad who stepped up. He's coming in to show those boys how to do things right.
I mean, 1
for
year.
1
This
year.
isn't stepdad. This is mom's friend.
This is mom friend's Frank. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank, put on some pants. God damn it. Was Stanford the place that had the couch that had staff?
Yes.
Okay. I just hope that we don't go back to those days.
Yeah, I think so. That feels spiritually correct.
I love when you give inanimate objects human diseases.
Do you?
So
Love is the wrong word. You know what I mean.
I love this.
I mean, the Buccaneers had a floor that had MRSA, if I recall correctly.
They did have the staff. Yeah, they had real bad staff.
The Browns had that in the
them too.
mid 2000s as well, I believe.
Yep. So, again, there is. I love the facts about the coach Frank Reich. I mean, he's led the biggest comebacks as a quarterback in the NFL and in college football. Like he did it for Maryland over the University of Miami on the road, and then he did it over the Houston Oilers in the NFL in the playoffs.
Woo! Playoffs.
That's right.
That fucking game.
Yeah, against the Oilers.
That fucking game that will never be able to shake out of history.
For the beloved, and honestly, this podcast's unanimously favorite football team, the Buffalo Bills.
I will end you.
This game happened before I was born. I actually have no strong feelings.
I was very young when this game happened.
This was kind of crazy for us living in New Orleans. Like we had like some affection for like Warren Moon at the time. After football days, not necessarily, but like there was an affinity for that offense because, I mean, we had Jim Mora and we had something, like the Oilers ran a run and shoot, which was a great offense. The run and shoot, it was amazing. The Saints had like an awful offense, and I remember our offensive coordinator, his name was Carl Smith. It was kind of like a bargain basement version of the West Coast offense. We called it the Gulf Coast offense because it didn't work. So we had an affinity for this, and then like when this happened, like it was kind of like whoa, like I mean, because Houston's essentially the closest NFL team to New Orleans, driving wise for sure. But Frank Reich, back after his stint with Carolina, where he basically just got 1 year, got in a fight with the owner. You know,
I don't count that.
I mean,
that's
at this point, who hasn't gotten in a fight with David Tepper?
that's true. He got fired at Indianapolis. He didn't even get to finish the 2022 season, but he left Indianapolis at 40 and 33-1. He won one playoff game in his first year. He lost to the Bills in 2020. And then like he had one. He didn't even make it to the end of the year at Carolina. He only made 11 games and he got fired. The owner was basically trying to give him notes, like telling him what to do, like giving him weekly meetings to tell him what he needed to change in his coaching style, which is incredible. But this is just going to be a 1 year project at Stanford. It's 1 year, 1 year only.
It may be a 1 year project for him. This is going to be more than a 1 year project for Stanford University.
For sure.
Andrew Luck is the CEO of Stanford football, if I recall correctly.
Yes, he is.
The funny thing for this is that Andrew Luck retired underneath Frank Reich as he was the coach. Like he was the coach. He just like unexpectedly retired in 2019. And now like Andrew Luck was like, hey man, you want to come be my coach for my team for just like a year?
You want to be his stepdad?
You want to be? That's right.
Want to be Uncle Frank to the kids?
That's right. The Stanford stepdad.
I know our fans are sick of it, but I have to bring up our weekly broomball content.
Okay.
The Miami Redhawks.
Yes.
They played a game last night. They played a couple games, and they put up a post today saying, first collegiate broomball team to win a game during a tornado. And I decided to fact check this. It is.
Oh,
thank you.
It is true.
Okay.
However, it is so hard to find any information on who Miami plays because I believe they're one of only like 3 college broomball teams left. So they play in the Cincinnati Broomball League. Real quick, I'm just going to run through the list of teams they play against.
Skyline Chili needs to sponsor that.
Of course.
The Skyline Broomball League.
Abominable Broomball Club.
Okay.
Hot Snakes. And the Ohio Hot Snakes, and on their stats page, snakes is an emoji.
Okay.
Cincinnati Purple Rain.
Oh.
Punishment Broomball Club. The Cincinnati Red Rhinoceros, the team they played against, Cincinnati Killer Bees, and a team that is simply labeled as Team Captain Jigglypuff. If you are a team captain,
do we have a logo?
Do
we have a logo?
I am looking for one. If you are a team captain Jigglypuff fan, your leading scorer this year so far is Nick Kalacia, and your team is 2-4 on the year.
Okay, team captain Jigglypuff. Do you think we need to search?
I have questions about punishment broomball team. Like, are they going to administer punishment, or is playing on the broomball team the punishment?
Mm-hmm.
I found a picture of Team Jigglypuff, but it appears they are not in their uniforms at the time. Unfortunately, they do wear red instead of pink, which is confusing.
We also have, thank you, Richard Johnson, friend of the program, got an email from the associate AD at Nebraska and found over 30 ideas they discussed for options for a spring game reformat, because they were just like, hey, they didn't want to do this the spring game anymore, and Matt Rule was like, no, we don't want to do that, we don't want to get our players poached. So basically they had an email that led to a meeting with 30 different things that they discussed here. Instead of having the spring game, what they could do instead of having a spring game, which a lot of these are incredible. Can I say the most dude one is sorority tug of war?
Okay.
Yeah. I love this.
Play.
This list is so like there's no bad ideas in a brainstorm. I love it so much.
Yeah, there's some bad ideas at the end. But I love like I physically I was like, I'm copy and pasting this whole list of 30 things because this is incredible. Like I love that they were just like I mean a non-football fan fest idea. Fuck it, let's have a BMX bike exhibition.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. How about a youth punt, pass, and kick competition? Let's go.
Bo Pelini's glorious return, complete with plush cat giveaway.
I'm partial to the sand volleyball Huskers versus football alumni.
Nice.
Hell yeah, kids. We're going to have go-kart races and tractor pulls and a dunk tank.
And half of the field is going to be a fan festival, and practice will be happening on the other half of the field. Keep your head on a swivel, kids.
I need to see the football practice happening at the same time as number 7, the BMX bike exhibition.
That's right. I'm upset that they didn't suggest one thing. There's a huge omission in this list, and I'm upset this didn't happen. There was nothing that said give a fan an opportunity to use der Wiener Schlinger.
Mm-hmm.
Like that needed to be on the list. Like what fan doesn't want to fire the hot dog cannon?
It's true.
That needs to be there.
A Wiener Schlinger execution wall. Everyone stands there with their mouths open.
As the other 4 have blank.
When I say I'm going to be first against the wall, that's my aspiration.
Blake.
I regret I only have one life to give to this hot dog.
I mean, speaking of things that you need to get people to sign waivers for,
the things you do, you do to get that dog in them.
I think what they should do is they should have some sort of thing where like fans can like do drills and do workouts and do like, you know what I mean? Like it's one thing, I get it. You don't want to have your players out there so other teams are going to see them and get them in the transfer portal. You put out your fans. You say, okay, like fans, like we want to see your 40 time. You know, we want to see you, do like some cone drills.
Yes,
especially the types who think that they can do it better than the players.
That's right, man.
Okay, big dog, let's go.
The fan extra point contest. I mean, let's go.
So the longer I look at this, the more questions I have, particularly because suggestions 15 and 17 seem to be in contradiction to each other.
Yes.
Number 15, fans are free to come down and cut out a section of turf. Yes. Number 17, demolition derby, the one time we can damage the turf.
So apparently they're getting turf, I think.
The other thing on here that is the most Nebraska shit, and you can tell some intern came up with it, number 25, someone went, what about pancakes?
Pancake feed on the concourse.
That's so Lutheran. Everybody loves a big pancake feed.
That also matches number 10. A garage sale on the concourse.
What does pancake feed mean in this context?
Just
is it
no, you can cook up a shit ton of pancakes and everybody comes down and eats them.
Okay, the word feed in this context is a little upsetting to me.
Pancake feed.
I mean, I was thinking maybe that's like what you have to feed pancakes like when you're raising them on your farm.
Farm to table pancakes.
Pancake feed.
I mean,
that's how you grow your pancakes big and strong with pancake feed.
I mean, I will repeat a bit from Ian Carmel's recent stand-up special, but technically all pancakes are farm to table. There is a farm that they all start out at some point, and then they are served on a table. So technically all pancakes are farm to table.
You know who has good value for food? Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, buddy.
They have decided that if you purchase a ticket at the game, you get 4 items per concession stand from a selection of hot dogs, nachos, popcorn, and fountain drinks. There is no limit to the number of in-game visits, but fans must scan each trip through the line on the Coastal Carolina app.
So is this like a specific subset of tickets or all of their tickets?
All the tickets. So this is before this came on the 31st. So this is something that they introduced, and this is like a legit thing that they wrote about. Also, The Athletic wrote about it a little bit further too. But it's just basically, it's like, hey, we are going to feed feed your family to come to the game. So when you go to the game, you get a ticket and you have the Coastal Carolina app. You get to acquire 4 items per concession stand visit, and from a choice of like hot dogs, nachos, popcorn, and fountain drinks. So you can only have 4 items at a time. So basically, you can get one of each, or 4 fountain drinks, whatever, in one trip. And then you got to scan the badge each time, like scan the app each time. Now, specialty items for like food from outside vendors, alcoholic beverages, they're still going to be remaining to purchase. So it's not like free beer or anything like that. But like the basic concessions of hot dogs, nachos, and popcorn, and the fountain drinks are going to like unlimited, so to speak. So
Can you imagine free beer at a Coastal game?
What an
there's
unfortunate thing to happen on free beer night.
Free beer in Conway, South Carolina, every Saturday, my friends.
and here come the pretzels.
Wait, what? Every Saturday? That's a Thursday night bender you're talking about.
Hey, put that
There's
down.
a
That's my
Thursday,
throw-in
brother.
beer.
I
Yeah.
like this. I like this attempt here. Like, you limit it to these 4 things. You still have your premium items. You get the folks in the game for it's like basically you're buying an all-you-can-eat buffet ticket to go to a game too. But you only get to eat like these 4 items, and you only get to go 4 things at a time. So they're like Andy Staples and Ari Wasserman were like, yeah, we're gonna get 50 hot dogs. I'm like, well, by my math, is that you have to make 12 and a half visits, and you can only get 4 hot dogs each trip for each person. So you have to make that many trips to get to 50 hot dogs, and then you have to eat it. Which
Coastal plays a pass-heavy game. Those games are
Yes.
longer.
mm-hmm.
I feel like you could get this.
You could do a new 999, dude.
You could.
We can make this happen.
A
Coastal
40.
Coastal fan.
Maybe
ULM
not
does
40.
ULM does play at Coastal this year. So there is a potential to do something like this, which yes, Pitt Girl.
I just, if this was me, I would be out here 1 fountain drink and 3 popcorns, please. Every time.
Mhm.
That's a lot
Popcorn.
of popcorn.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
point.
I
can
can also
have
do a lot of popcorn.
4 hot dogs, please. And I take them and I walk over to the next concession stand, still with all hot dogs in my hand. 4 hot
4
dogs,
hot
please.
dogs. Yeah.
I'm just imagining Tim Robinson in that one. I think you should leave sketch.
Like 55 hot dogs, 55. Like, you can't do that though. You have to go each separate time. Like, yeah.
Also, for the Pennsylvanians among us and other people who live in Sheetz territory, evidently popcorn machines at Sheetz are a thing now. Like, this is not an April Fool's Day thing. I saw this yesterday.
I'm just
So,
bummed.
Coming
I'm bummed.
soon
I'm bummed
to a
that
Sheetz near you.
pretzels are not included in this. I'm kind of bummed.
No,
But,
because pretzels are a per unit thing that's going to cost you more. The stuff that
Okay.
they're selling you is the
Yeah.
cheapest bulk shit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could buy like bulk hot dogs and buns, like nothing, like
Nothing.
bulk nacho chips,
Nothing.
and cheese.
Popcorn
like the
is
giant
basically
cans.
infinite. Fountain drinks are
Popcorn's like-
basically infinite.
Yeah, fountain drinks. Just basically, you just buying the syrup. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of the lowest margin things that you could do. The pretzels are a per item thing, and the only thing that I'm bummed about is that I would want nachos and pretzels because I like to take the
Mhm.
and dip it in the nacho cheese once I'm done with the nachos.
You could
Yes,
dip your hot dogs in your nacho cheese.
I could do
True.
that. That is an option.
Why?
You could also still buy a pretzel. Like I'm sure they'll still sell pretzels.
Yeah, they still sell you a pretzel, but it's not going to be.
No, except they'll tase you in the balls. That's the rule. If you buy something off it, they'll tase you in the balls.
Is that how you piss
My
tea?
food not good enough for you.
Uh-huh.
No,
I thought it was
it's
an Iowa
not
State
even out
game.
of like anger. It's just that's how much it costs.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Costs 1 balls taste.
Do you want it salted or unsalted?
How does it get so
Answer correctly. Answer correctly.
I mean, my thing with the food in Coastal Carolina, and I probably told this story before, but when I was in Conway covering the ACC women's basketball tournament, I forget what year it was, but it was the one year it was hosted by Coastal Carolina. They had these cookies that were like sugar cookies in like the media room for the whole tournament. They were dyed teal. Like they had like teal food coloring, right? Because that's that's Coastal's thing. I
Did you shit
started
teal?
I like yeah, like when they talk about pissing teal, like they're about that. It goes through you.
Nobody has anything.
Speaking of teal, we've got minor league baseball teams pretending to be something else.
Hi, so
including
this is my locals.
Yes.
Is
this real?
So here I'll break down the timeline here. My local team, the London Majors, who I've been to many games and I've done some fill-in work for in their broadcast before. They've been around since 1919. Very ancient team. They've always been the London Majors. And they announced that they would be rebranding to the Forest City Cobra Chickens, which is a term for Canada Goose that I don't know if that exists outside of this region, but we call them Cobra Chickens because they are chickens with the ferocity of cobras. And they made a pretty sick Miami Vice colored logo that looked really cool, made by their graphic design team. But it was clearly an April Fool's Day joke. They're not doing it. 1 hour later, divisional rivals Welland Jackfish put out a press release saying that, and this is for real, for one game in August against Brantford, they will be rebranding to the Niagara, which is the county they play in, the Niagara Lawncocks.
It's a chicken.
It's a chicken in a patio chair, sipped on a Solo cup. It's the coolest chicken you've ever seen. Would anyone like me to explain the lore, or do you just want me to leave it at that?
I just want you to say the hashtag.
Oh yeah, cluck yeah. Hashtag cluck yeah.
I'm a little bit curious about the lore. I do want to ensure that the listeners know that that the lawn cock is Canadian because he's wearing a flannel vest.
Thought that went without saying. It is not much more difficult than in Niagara County. There is a bylaw that says you cannot own chickens if you don't live in an agricultural zone. Welland is not one. Welland is a small town. But some family tried to challenge this a couple years ago and got their chickens taken away. And that has sparked some imagination in the Welland Jackfish organization, which is, we say minor league, they're semi-pro. They're, this is a small-time organization, and has made this absolutely What the hell? Sorry, my rabbit just sprinted past me.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the teams we talk about are not actually minor league teams. They're like independent league or something like semi-pro or something like that.
Christ, man. Yeah, so the London Majors, who I thought were going to win April Fool's Day, were just immediately upstaged by a divisional rival.
That sounds about right.
I'm sorry. What?
No, I just, maybe the bunny is trying to tell you something.
Maybe, I don't know.
I want to update the Kevin Willard saga a little bit
Please.
here. So Kevin Willard left Maryland and is now the head coach of Villanova. Maryland has set up to hire Texas A&M's Buzz Williams as men's basketball coach. Under Buzz Williams, Texas A&M has enjoyed 4 straight years of at least 21 wins and 3 consecutive NCAA appearances in the tourney. This kind of is like, this kind of puts A&M in a bit of a tailspin. I would just say, like, they've had an incredible amount of turnover in a short amount of time. It has been since late November of 2023. Texas A&M has had to hire a new university system chancellor, a new president, a new athletics director, a new football coach, a new baseball coach, and now a new men's basketball coach. That is like in a year and a half, in like 18 months. A&M has had to go through that, which is...
Miss Rev is coming for the administration.
I mean, yikes, man. That's tough.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I know at least with the football coach, they wanted to hire a new one.
Yeah, at least with the rest of them, they didn't have to pay anything, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like A&M with non-football sports, because I don't really know, like, how much do they actually like kind of care about them? Because
I mean,
like,
basketball pretty much a lot, baseball a lot.
Mhm.
yeah, like I know next to nothing about college baseball, but like with college basketball, like they, like they're not terrible, right? Like they're not DePaul, but they're also not a team that is like a perennial championship contender. Like they're not a team that, you're always thinking about when it comes to March, right? Like a Duke or a Kentucky or somebody like that. So I don't know. It's weird to me that Buzz Williams has left. How many jobs is it now? Like on his own, right? Like he hasn't been fired. He's gone for a different job. And I don't know. It's kind of weird to me that he would do this. Like the only explanation I can see is just that with Texas A&M, and like rightfully so, like they're pretty good at football and they like football. And with this house settlement, you've got a cap that's not sports specific,
Let,
right?
let me give you
So
let me give you Buzz Williams real quick. Buzz Williams, 6 years at Marquette, 5 years at Virginia Tech, 6 years at A&M. Now on to Maryland. He's not necessarily like a serial job hopper, like people leaving in 3 years, 2 years, whatever. But kind of doesn't seem like he's found like his home yet.
yeah, but like he's still leaving. It's like
Yeah.
he's not anywhere for a short amount of time. It's kind of because like usually when someone leaves, right, they go to a better job. And as you keep getting better jobs, you get to the top, right? Like you get to the point where it's not a better job. And like you can talk yourself into each move he's made as being like slightly better, right? Like I remember when he went to Texas A&M, it was because like, oh, like he's from Texas. So like he just wanted to be like closer to family or something, and people understood it. But that's why I'm saying like if I had to guess, the only explanation I can come up with again is this house settlement where there's going to be right like a cap on the revenue sharing overall. Like it's not per sport. So if you are a basketball coach, if you go to a school that will give like Texas, this isn't like a Texas A&M can throw all the money at it theoretically because it's like, well, there's football.
Yeah, we could go from. I mean, we can go in depth on A&M for a long time.
Yes.
But moving on to Michi Johnson. I love Michi Johnson. He's a basketball player. I love his transfer portal moves. So his career, Michi Johnson, 2021, Ohio State. 2022, Ohio State. 2023, South Carolina. 2024, South Carolina. 2025, Ohio State. And then he entered the portal again, and he's back to South Carolina.
I love this for him.
Sometimes the grass is greener on the place you just were.
He took a little vacation to Columbus, and now he's back.
Like we all do.
That's right. I'm just like,
You got some good theme parks there.
I guess actually this is a little more like I'm a person with a summer home and a winter home.
Yeah, is he a bit of a snow gamecock?
You could have just said snowbird. It's still a bird.
Yeah, it's a term.
But I wanted to say snow gamecock.
Sure. We've said a lot of do we just want to get the word cock out of our system? We've said a lot this episode.
I mean,
have we?
More
Cluck,
per usual
yeah.
than usually, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
cluck, yeah.
We do have our Wiscoozy tonight.
That's all right.
Yes.
Whiskey Weezy.
This is our-
was
Easy.
This is our what do we call this?
What is coming up, and why should I watch it?
There we go. And
There you go.
Joey, you're bringing us curling news from the land up north.
Yes,
I love
the greatest sport in the world, according to
Is it about
40-year-old
doping
Canadians.
again?
What?
Is it about sex and doping again?
No, actually.
You're just looking for another excuse to say cock. I know it.
Well,
I mean,
in one.
I was trying to work in a Marcy's Playground reference because I love sex and curling, but it didn't work out.
I mean, in one form of the word, if you want to go down the dictionary, it kind of does. We have a curling battle of the sexes.
By the way, I'm 16 stone.
That is so 70s of like a battle of the sexes.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's
Go Billie Jean King.
This is being played at the Mattamy Athletic Center, which is what is now, or what was Maple Leaf Gardens. Fun fact, tying the committee together, last time I was at Maple Leaf Gardens, I saw and said hi to Billie Jean King. And Billie Jean King was looking at everyone's media credentials, and I covered mine up because Billie Jean King does not need to know what the Sickos Committee is.
Nope, not at all.
Oh my god.
What's going on in curling?
So the number one men's team in the world will be taking on the number one women's team in the world in a charity match before the Players' Championship. I will be going. I'm very excited. And
Credentialed as
the Sickos Committee.
This
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We're international, folks.
Exactly. So, brief sidebar.
Like
there is a scandal rocking the curling world right now. Rock, curling term. Broomgate 2 is happening. Shout out to John Cullen, by the way. Broomgate won a bunch of podcasting awards, which covered the last time there was a sweeping scandal.
Nope. Where's my button?
Oh my
goodness.
Back in 2015, or 2016, sorry. There was a report that came out that one of the manufacturers of brooms was using a material that was much better than all the others, and there wasn't really any rules governing it because no one had thought to do that before. Same with the torpedo bats, basically. The new one is a bit more complicated than that, but I don't want to really go into it. I'm just going to say, I just wanted to say sweeping scandal, basically, and rocking the curling world.
Wait. So, like, a sweeping scandal, like, give us a little bit of this. You say scandal, I got to know a little bit.
So, this one has been a lot more civil. Give us,
like, the American version of it?
This one has been a lot more civil than the last one. Basically, the curling broom is two pieces. It's the handle and the actual, what you'd call the brush, which is a piece of foam covered up by a piece of fabric.
I don't know why. Like, I don't know what a curling broom looks like. I've seen them on TV, but I'm just imagining a giant Swiffer.
More or less. The bottom is a piece of fabric over some foam. The foam has to be a specific level of hardness because if it's too hard, it'll be too good.
So it's like grades of sandpaper.
Sure, yeah. Actually, this one it has nothing to do with the fabric itself. It's the foam, like specifically how much give is on the foam.
Oh.
And this one, they found out that there was just a straight up manufacturer error. Some of them were a little bit too hard, and it was just they did an investigation. They found out it was just a complete fluke, an error. So to compensate for that, they changed the rules to make a little bit more hardness allowed to try and give that little wiggle room, just in case they would have no idea that they had a manufacturer defect that made the broom better. And one of the companies that was not affected decided to counter by doing the manufacturer defect on purpose.
Okay.
So they didn't lose sales.
That's some petty shit.
So, no, I like this.
I do like the I did this accidentally on purpose.
Yeah,
I like that.
No, they were not coy about it. They called it the what was it called? The broom is called something like the attacker or the chaser or something. They were not subtle about the fact that they were doing this on purpose because someone else got away with it doing it accidentally.
Okay. Buy our broom. We messed up too in a good way.
Yeah. So
I like that.
So there has been controversy and debate over whether you should be allowed to use these that are intentionally skirting the rules. The Scotties and the Briar everyone agreed to not use them. The World Championships, I don't think they came to that same agreement, so we'll have to see if that goes forward. That's not affecting this, I will say. I just wanted to bring that up briefly. The Battle of the Sexes is going to happen in Toronto. Rachel Homan of Canada, her team is going to be the women's team, and Bruce Mowat of Scotland is going to be the men's team. And there's something both good and bad about this one that means it doesn't have a lot of the juice of the original tennis one, is that Bruce Mowat is actually a really good guy. From all intents, from all reports, Bruce Mowat is one of the nicest men in the world and one of the most humble athletes.
I feel like it's hard to become like obnoxious, like chest puffy curler.
True.
Like that's not the sports vibe.
I need like, for me to really fully understand that, I needed there to be like an 80s curling movie where we would have like the 80s curling villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the jerk that has like the best broom.
We needed the Jamaican curling team to make that happen, unfortunately.
Okay. Wait, would they have been the evil?
No.
Oh, okay. They would have been the
this
heroes.
Is curling,
of the story.
cool runnings, cool slidings, if you will.
Cool sweepings.
You want the Mighty Ducks, but with curling, basically.
We needed something like that. If you know,
Hollywood, if you're listening, there is an audience for a curling movie.
There was a point. I think
there has been one. We've talked about it on the show. It's called Men with Brooms.
Men with Brooms. It's not great.
No, it's awful.
Jordan, why do you think I remember anything that happens on this show?
True. That is true.
Yeah,
and what high ground do I have to ever claim that, like, oh no, you didn't remember something where I remember literal nothing?
I feel like
high ground here. Fuck it.
Jordan just says it's on one of my tabs. I remember that. It's on a tab.
I feel like
his tabs remember for him.
I should answer the question that is asked in the segment, which is why should I watch it, even if you don't care about curling? Which, let's be honest, it's on the entire committee. It's just me. Not even Ducky likes curling.
Fascinating.
I care.
There was
I'm an
point,
Olympics only curling fan, but that's okay.
There was a point in the 2010 Olympics where it was the American, was like Schuster.
Mm-hmm. He's still around.
And like, I mean, he wound up winning the gold, I believe. Like he had a redemption story.
Because I yelled at him because I bullied him on Twitter. He got better.
Yeah,
the only person I've ever Twitter bullied.
It was crazy. Like 2010, I don't know what it was, but America got really into curling, and then they just bullied the crap out of Schuster.
Yes.
For like no reason. Like, we just got into the sport, and he had an off game in the Olympics, and we just wanted a few. That's fine. He did not have a great performance.
He redeemed himself. Leave the man alone, Jordan.
I mean, he got his redemption. It's fine.
Because I motivated him.
We overreacted to curling. I remember there was like, I was supposed to do some curling in like Austin, Texas, but then like I threw out my shoulder and I had to have shoulder surgery. So I've never got a chance to like do curling, but I would love to do this once because I'm not going to say I'd be good. I just want to try it. And
some Joey lore is that I did 1 year of curling when I was 15, and one of my teammates from that season went on to get a college scholarship in curling, so I should have stuck with it.
Oh.
The meanest thing I've read about that movie, Men with Brooms, is someone calls it a gentle Canadian comedy. If my comedy were called Gentle, I think I would just want to be done with my writing career.
At least Corner Gas got lighthearted. They didn't soup solo to get gentle.
Corner Gas was fun. I love that show. It's my Canadian Seinfeld.
Anyways, the why you should watch it. First of all, I think this is the only sport where you could possibly have the number one woman in the world facing off against the number one man in the world. And I think, based off how Rachel Homan's been playing lately, it's going to be close. Bruce Mowat is very, very good. Rachel Homan might be the best of all time based off how she's been playing this year. I think she's only lost like 5 games this year, and they were all to like number 2 in the world.
I kind of wonder, like a sport like curling here, like this is something that's.
I know where you're going, and
no, it feels like this is not necessarily like the sexes are at a disadvantage against each other.
So strength does matter more than you think.
But I've never played it, so I don't know, and that's why
the rocks are really heavy.
They are very heavy.
The stones are really heavy. Yes.
I will say, maybe like 10 years ago, I would say there's no difference. But over the last couple years where after Broomgate, when sweeping sort of transitioned into a different art form, and the power game from the shooter became a lot more dominant in the men's game. There is a difference in how men's and women's curling is played. That being said, Rachel Holman's just incredibly good. Bruce Mowat is also obviously number one in the world, insanely good. Probably going to be world champion next week unless Brad Jacobs does something about it. But by the way, the men's world championship is going on as we speak, and then Mowat is basically flying straight from that to this.
Okay. No rest.
I saw Canada with a great end over. What do you call the frame?
It's an
An
yes.
end where they cleared out, I think, 4 Japanese rocks.
Mm-hmm. They also
it was very impressive.
Brad Jacobs is. I wrote him off at the start of the year. He's had a pretty good year. Took down Gushu in the Briar, which is very hard to do.
I love that sentence. I had no idea what that was.
Yeah, I have no clue what the pieces of that sentence are, but
I
man,
don't even know what, like, took down
Gushu in the Briar, man.
Just let it breathe.
I'm
Yeah.
just
let it breathe.
like, man, is this a gumshoe? Are we doing like, where in the world is Carmen San Diego again? Listen up, gumshoes.
You guys don't follow the Sickos on Ice account, do you?
No, we do.
They're just admitting they're very
But
stupid
it's another
Americans.
language.
All I'm imagining in my head is Rachel Holman winning and having a "Who do you think you are? I am" moment, because that's what I feel like. That's the level of
yes.
that we need for curling.
Yeah.
Okay, what network is this on? Is it on CBC?
This is where I was gonna go with the why should you watch it. The Grand Slam of Curling is running this event. There is a weird, I'm not going to go into it too much, a weird sort of power struggle between TSN and Sportsnet and the various bodies that run these curling tournaments. And that has led to the Grand Slam of Curling deciding to make this free on YouTube.
Whoa.
Woo.
It's for charity. The team, it's a skins game, which is a different variant of curling. I won't go into like the details. They'll explain on the broadcast. I don't watch a lot of skins curling, but basically you got to win.
So like skins game when you
Similar
had
to
it in
golf.
golf.
Yeah,
when you had it in golf is like basically you win, X amount of like you win the hole or the skin, so to speak, by like essentially winning the whole of the skin. So maybe they're going to do something this for each end.
Yeah. So a curling skins game is a thing. They do a tournament every year for it. I don't usually watch it because it's difficult and confusing for my tiny brain. But basically, if you shoot last, you have to win by 2 to win the skin.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Like how volleyball used to be.
Shoot last,
or still is.
Got to win by volleyball. Rules.
Yeah,
okay.
Volleyball rules.
If both teams are playing for a charity, Team Holman going for the Sandra Schmirler Foundation. Schmirler the curler is an all-time Canadian curling legend from Saskatchewan. I will say it one more time. Schmirler the curler.
Thank you.
They have a NICU foundation in her name, and then Team Mowat is raising money for a family friend fighting melanoma. So both very good causes, very direct causes as well. And it should be very fun. One thing that is going to be fun for if you're a curling fan is Jennifer Jones is on commentary. If you recognize that name, Jennifer Jones is tied for the most Scotties Tournament of Hearts, which is the Canadian Championship wins of all time, and Rachel Holman's biggest career rival.
Ooh.
And one-time Rachel Holman's coach.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
So that will be very fun. I got media credentialed, and they have told me that I can walk through the crowd and do whatever content I want. So if you guys have any ideas of what content you would like me to do with the players or fans or organizers, let me know.
Okay.
So Joey, you have told us that this will be on YouTube, but you have not told us, unless I wasn't paying attention, when and what time.
Right.
What day and what time.
This is April 7th at 7 p.m. on Monday. Again, at the Mattamy Athletic Center, Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
And that is yes, Monday.
Monday, April 7th. So
which 7 p.m.
Eastern, I assume.
Eastern. It's in Toronto.
Okay.
I don't know what
time zone Toronto's in. Don't sass me, Canadian boy.
How do you not know that? It's right
map.
next to Detroit.
It's a map. It's
Detroit's central.
Nope.
No.
No, it's not. It's Eastern.
That's
Okay.
Eastern.
Okay. Learn something new.
Yeah,
I like Bridget.
Detroit-
Don't sass
Michigan
me,
is
Matt
directly
boy.
above Ohio, which is also in the Eastern time zone.
Oh, you're right. In my brain, Michigan was directly above Illinois for some reason, but that's Wisconsin.
That's Wisconsin.
That's Wisconsin.
I mean, there is also Michigan above Illinois, but you have to drive through a whole
it's a small
Wisconsin
part, and
first.
it's a weird
Well,
part, and
and
we
that-
don't talk about that part.
That part of Michigan, I believe, is Central Time Zone.
no, it's
Probably.
not. No, it is.
Is it?
It is
Or is
Eastern.
it also Eastern?
It's
Yeah,
also
that's
Eastern.
weird.
I'm looking at a map.
If
Oh,
I
that's
may,
stupid.
before we move completely on, I would like to read a phrase from the press release that confuses me, but should be fun.
Okay.
This game will feature celebrity coaches, guest appearances, and unique rule twists. We are a week out from that,
Ooh.
and I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe I'm the
Okay.
celebrity coach.
Do we,
I don't
do
know.
we have celebrity coaches?
They say there will be. It hasn't been announced yet.
They haven't announced them?
Yeah, so
There's your content, Joey. You can be a celebrity
I will
coach.
be the celebrity coach. Also, this is completely sold out. It's the only curling event I've heard of to sell out a whole arena. So that place is
Ooh.
going to be rocking for curling. It's going to be very fun.
Wow. That's going to be incredible. I love... I mean, this is some stuff that I wished... Like, I would love the opportunity to go to. Like, I
Mhm.
wish I had a chance to do it. And... You know, if this could be full time, this would be something that I would love to do and love to attend. Like something like this incredible, and it's an exhibition match for charity, and like the entire country of like Canada, like fully supporting this is
Scotland,
great
too.
for Scotland too. I mean, it's just, yeah, man. This is
I've said
a pretty cool
before,
event.
like there is a universe where, you know, there's many different paths that this organization we have here could take, and one of those is we start one of those fast channels that just covers like the weirdest sports we can find.
It kind of feels like that's where we're heading. But
the Ocho.
Yeah,
I feel like this is what, but it's got to be stuff that, you know, has incredibly loyal fan bases to watch like
Mhm.
incredibly passionate things.
like Pesapalo,
Which-
like you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, it's certain things that, you know, we enjoy like college sports, but I'm not just like a college football fan. Like I love like all the sports. So it's just the college football thing was kind of
We
our
cover college
gateway
broom
drug.
ball on this show.
Our gateway drug to all the other sports. But no, I love all these weird sports. It's fun. They're fun to watch. Like this is something that's like I love explaining this to my son. like things like this is like, hey, this is what you want to do here. He's like, well, why? Like who invented this rule? Like this doesn't make sense. Or like, okay, but why do they do it this way? Why do they have to do it that way? And so it's kind of a bit of a bonding exercise between me and my son. And then on top of that, it's kind of the same on social media at the same time. There's just like, hey, yeah, we're watching the US Open Cup. Shout out to the Burrito Boys for tying the game, you know, in the US Open Cup. And then also shout out to the Mocs. Breaking news. They're going to the NIT championship game. It is the Anteaters versus the UT Chattanooga Mocs.
UT
Hell
Chattanooga.
yeah!
UT Chattanooga
Zach.
NIT and in all like forget the NCAA tournament. I mean,
Yeah, we got an all unranked NIT.
we
Let's
haven't.
go.
Let's go. I mean, it's just
Or
well,
unseeded,
UC
whatever.
Irvine's a one seed.
No,
but
UCF was only one seed.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But I mean,
I lied.
it's
I don't
all
remember
like
things.
small school conferences, like one bid leagues.
Little
and-
guys with fun mascots.
That's right. It's
As the NIT should be.
yes, that's how
I
it
also-
should be.
I want to jump back 1 second because Joey mentioned fast TV channels. So I just replaced my television, and I am now the owner of a like relatively fancy refurbished Samsung TV, and it comes with the Samsung network or whatever it's called. Guys, there's like an alternate ACC network in there that just shows football replays,
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
if you get
and it's free.
and
And there's
Sports,
one for all the conferences.
if you get BN Sports Extra on there, which I believe you do, you will occasionally, if you tune in at weird hours, hear my voice because I
Oh,
I I have covered basketball games for the Basketball Super League, which is a regional league around here, and that channel sometimes runs reruns. So every now and then I'll be scrolling through like Pluto TV, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, that's me!"
hey! Yeah, Samsung TV Plus has like all the channels, and some of them are sports reruns. So, if you're bored.
Anything else for the good of the order? I think that's what
No,
we got.
I mean, I can shout out one thing.
Oh,
The Atlanta Hawks tic-tac-toe game that they do in
oh my
media
God.
timeouts tonight. Man,
Yikes.
pour one out for the one contestant.
Oh,
That's
He-
tough.
That looked painful both physically and mentally.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there was so there's the game. There's a contest where you've seen this in basketball games where you have to do the layup tic-tac-toe thing while the other guys there's two contestants on both sides of the court. One just doing the layup tic-tac-toe. The other one blows out their knee and just totally laying on the ground.
Oh no.
Disaster. What a bad idea.
I was
We got to get the
I-
curling version of that
I-
on there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a theory that
Oh dear.
teams do this
Oh,
when
dear.
the Blazers are in town because the Portland Trailblazers had a viral moment where the people playing the tic-tac-toe game messed it up so badly. Like they were putting them in just like they both had like chances to win and they just didn't connect three ever. But yeah, this is you don't want to see that. That's not what you want to see. You don't want to see anyone get hurt in a media timeout playing a game.
Okay, folks. That's what we got for tonight. Have a good April Fools, and we will see you on the other side.